Let's see if we can salvage him. Gives it some definition. We're going to glue this to this, and we're going to glue this to the book. I think that matches very nicely. There we go. Very, very cute. I like it. Hello, welcome back to Patty Loves Paper. I'm Patty. This poor little guy that almost didn't make it. Let's see if we can salvage him. So this tear comes down to here, and this tear comes down to here. So let's see if we can salvage that some kind of way. All right. And cut this little edge off there and there. All right, let's see if we can get this to fold over without tearing it. You have to be gentle. It's this very fine. It's not parchment. It's almost like the bakery bags that have the wax on the outside. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get this to work. And get that gusset to fold in. Okay, we did it. And I did see this here. We need to glue this down. This is just where the sides meet to form the bag. So we're going to glue that down. And I put glue on the wrong side. All right, so I'm just going to press that down, get that nice and smooth so it doesn't pull up. All right. And let's see if we can find some pretty paper. I don't know if this is quite long enough. I don't think so. Let's see what we're going to put down here first. We better glue this down too because this is pretty loose. All right. And if you see any other loose pieces, we may need to consider gluing this down too, but let's see what we're going to do with the top first. So let's take one of our flower pages, kind of like that. Let's see if we can make that work. We'll take it up to right about here and we'll glue it underneath that fold. And I forgot to cover my glue, so guess what? It's gonna be drying in that nozzle. Okay, take this edge off. These little tiny edges are so difficult for me. I did it, but just because y'all were watching, thank goodness. See? All right. All right, and let's see how much we have to take off the side. Let's take a little bit more off of this side. Nope, can't get it. And then where do we want to take that? Let's take that. Let's take it right about here. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. All right, and what are we going to put on? I think we said that was too small. Okay, so I don't think I really like that. So let's go back to our music paper and see what we can do with our music paper. Maybe we can I think I want this part. This. Okay, I think I like that. All right, so let's kind of get those edges colored up a little bit too. And we'll do this too while we're at it. Okay. We'll wipe up our mess so we don't get ink all over the place. Okay. And let's see. I think we need a little something. All right, so we have this little number. We're gonna distress this a little bit. Kind of did purple with the brown. All right. And now let's glue it all down. So I really hope you gathered your supplies and that you are staying and playing along with me. We're going to slide this right under, and then we're going to lay it down. All right, there we go. And we're going to smooth this down. Get those edges good. Get under there. And really get that glue to adhere those two papers together. All right, and now let's do our music page. All right. Smooth that down. Very nice. All right, and let's see if we can get that number to go right there. But I like the way it came out. All right. Now let's see what we're going to do with this. I think what we should do, so I think we should figure out what paper we want to use to cover the inside cover, and then I think it should go right here. And we'll make a tag to go inside. And one thing we talked about in the other video was laying an envelope, a junk mail envelope down. I think that just meets the crease, but we want to put that in before we lay our paper down so that our paper covers this up. But it's more important that we get our white part of the envelope covered. I also thought that we would take this scrap of cardstock and put it in this envelope just to strengthen it a little bit, and then we'll have something pretty here in front. Probably something that you can pull in and out. So let's get started. I'm going to move our junk journal around a little bit. I'm going to put our band around it just to keep training it to be a book. And let's see, I thought maybe this would be some nice paper, and then I put some ink on this piece of music paper just to give it a little more interest. And I think we can use these to cover that. So let's get started. And I think we're just gonna do a little bit there. So we need now you can tear this or you can cut this. Oh, and I didn't do a very good job on doing that. Let's try that again. Good thing there's 4 sides to this paper. Okay, let's try that again. Much, much better. All right. Let's see, do we want it this way? Or do we want it this way? Let's say let's go with the music paper this way. So we'll go with this pretty paper this way. All right, so we're going to glue this down. I think the first thing I want to do is to put some ink around it. And this just gives it some definition. Some people say it ages it up when you put it around the edges. And sometimes it really does. But more often than not, I find it just gives it a little definition when you lay that paper down. Now we do want to avoid the window because we want the window to show off some pretty paper when we put something inside. So I'm going to do more than a little bit of this, but I'm not really going to do it all because I don't think we need it all. Okay. And we're going to... Did we ink this side? Let's try that again. I don't think we have enough on that end. And this is where your hands tend to get inky and gluey. If they get gluey first, then the glue protects your fingers from the ink. If they get inky first, well, they're going to be inky for a little while. But if they get gluey first, then the ink comes off when you wash your hands and the glue comes off. All right, I'm not so much worried about this fold. And we're just going to put a little ink there just to make it easier to see. So we're just going to go to that fold. And we're going to glue that down. Now, I'm okay with it going over the edge because what we can do is we can fold any excess over if we have any. And that's only going to strengthen these edges of the paper. All right, so let's get our glue and hope that it works tonight, because sometimes this glue starts drying out in the nozzle and you have to soak it in some warm water. I'm going to get up to my edge. All right, we're going to lie this right down. I don't want to cover up much of my window, but I do want to get it straight. Okay, that's good there. And I'm going to cut this. here and right here. And then we're going to glue this over. You don't have to glue it over, but it's there. It's going to give this junk mail envelope a little bit more strength so it doesn't wear out quite so easily with opening and closing. And we're going to cover this part up anyway with some more pretty paper on the back. All right, so there we go. Let's get the other side. And I did cut that with my scissors. My scissors caught it, so we're going to put that on the back side. We need a little more ink. Didn't quite bring it up far enough for our ink, so we're going to ink that up a little bit more. All right, and we're going to start to glue this. I hope you grabbed your supplies and you're staying and playing along so that we will have a nice junk journal by the time this is all finished. All right, where's my little cut? There it is. All right, and what I'm going to do with this one is going to be a little bit different because this has the open end where we're going to put our tag. So we want to keep that open. But we're going to take a little bit off of this, just right there, before we cut it here. All right. All right. And when we fold this in, we're going to fold it inside here. Now you want to make sure that it's not cut too long here, that it's going to stick out in the window. You want to make sure it still stays within that. I think that does. So I think we're good there. All right, so now we're just going to put a little glue on it, glue that down, and the top and bottom is going to be finished. And you see when I grab that paper with the scissors, it's no big deal. Those things happen. Those things definitely happen. And you just keep going. You don't let it bother you because it is a junk journal. And we're not going to worry about it. All right. Yep, I think we look good there. All right, now we're going to add our music paper to the side. But I think we're going to close it up here. So I think we want to... I really like that. All right, let's take some of this off. Let's close up our glue so we don't end up with dried out glue. Let's see how long we need it. I'm going to overlap on these ends. All right. And this is going to close up our pocket on the side, okay, when we fold that over. So I think what I want to do is ink this side. And the bottom. Again, you can see it's giving you some definition there, and we're going to start applying that glue. I want to get in those corners real good. I used to try to really round those corners right there, at the edge of the window. But it's very time consuming and it's hard to do. So I stopped. All right, there we go. And we're going to fold this over. And again, that's going to close up our pocket on this side. All right. And we're just clipping these edges off just so that there's not a lot of bulk there. And it folds easier for you. And just remember, all this is going to be covered in pretty paper. So I do hope you've been trying to play along. I can't tell you how relaxing this hobby has become for me. You can just really get lost in creating, and you know, everybody has a lot of stress in their life right now. The inflation's high. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and you know, we all have a lot on us. So it's nice to have something that is relaxing and kind of takes you away from everything. And this is what I find works for me. I take this top off. But I tell you what I wasn't anticipating, how difficult this YouTube is. It's difficult, but it's fun, and I have been enjoying it. But you know, when the tape starts flying and the glue gets everywhere and you hit the microphone about 7 times, you know, it's just like, oh my gosh. When is this going to start going smoothly? So I have to laugh at myself and just try to enjoy the journey. All right, this is going to go here, and the rest of it is going to cover our flip piece. I think we're going to have to cut a little bit of that, but that's okay. So we're going to add a little more ink again to add the definition, and you can see how it added some definition around to the pieces that we tore. I'm not going to do this side because we're going to take some stuff off of that, but honestly, this is probably not going to be visible by the time all is said and done. So lately I've been enjoying Miss Paint a Lot. I think I mentioned that on a previous video. I don't know how I stumbled across her, but I've really been enjoying her and her husband, Mr. F. I believe it is Mr. F. And I just find it very relaxing to watch her also. She does a lot of inking, a lot of distressed and junk journal, grungy type. She likes the grungy, which is fine. But I just have really been enjoying what she's been offering. If you're interested in what I'm doing and want to see another perspective, look at Miss Paint a Lot, because she's been very enjoyable. She tends to do series also, and she does some really beautiful things. All right. So by the time it was all said and done, we did not have to take anything off of that edge. It all worked out fine, probably because of this fold. All right. And the next thing that I want to do is cut this piece down to size. And we want to put this inside here. So we're probably going to go a little bit inside. So we'll probably cut it right. That's it, right about there. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I am not the straightest cutter. In fact, the straighter I think I'm cutting it, it's usually the more crooked I'm cutting it. So I just cut it, and it is what it is, and I'm okay with it. All right, let's get our book. Now, I think if we didn't have this strong piece of cardstock in here, we may want to put a magnet here and here before we lay our paper down, just to kind of help keep it closed. But I think when we have this strong piece of paper, it's not going to fly out. I think it's just going to open up just a tad, and I'm okay with that. So when I was looking at the strength of this, I feel like I need something a little bit more. So I cut a piece of cardstock, and we're going to cover this with the paper, and then we're going to put this down. And I was thinking that maybe this paper might be nice. I kind of like that. I like the fact that it's kind of blurred or smeared. It's not defined here. And I kind of like that. Now, we are going to put this on top. And inside of here, we're going to have a tag or two. So a lot of that's going to be covered. But you still want to have some pretty paper there. So let's see about measuring it. And we'll tear that off. I think I want to go with the edge here, so we'll do that, see if that works for us. Doesn't always work, and what works off the camera doesn't always work on the camera, but we'll try it. Let's see how we did. Well, I think we're still a little bit too long and a little bit too wide, so let's take a little bit more. We don't want it exactly the size of our cardstock. We want to bring it in just a little. All right, let's try that. I think that's pretty close, so let's ink that page up. Again, we're just looking for some aging and some definition. Okay, that's good. And now we're going to glue. So, if you remember in one of my previous videos, I said I like to apply glue to the entire surface, because if I glue just the edges, sometimes the center pokes up a little bit because there's air between the two pages, and I really don't care for that. So I'm going to put glue on this entire piece of cardstock. We're going to glue this to this, and we're going to glue this to the book. All right. So we have a lot of things going on right now. Work seems to be very busy, but the good news is my daughter is graduating from her master's program, so we're pretty excited about that. Very proud of her. She went back to school, I believe, in 2021, and maybe it was 2022. And she has finished her master's in public health, so we're quite excited about that. Just want to make sure we have enough glue that everything is very secure. Let's see if we have that straight. Close. Yep, I think so. Very good. So now we're really going to smash that glue into the page below it so that we have glue just all over the surface. This is going to just spread that glue around and really press it into the cardstock so we have a really nice fit there. Very good. Okay. I like that. All right. Now, we don't want to forget to glue our junk mail envelope down. And we may want to cover this side first. I don't think that's an absolute necessity, but it's probably a good idea. Oh, I think that's very pretty right there. So let's tear that. Okay, let's see how that's going to work for us. All right, I think that's perfect. Again, we're going to ink this up, get some definition. All right, there's just a little bit there that's going to show and a little bit here that may show. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put some ink here just to give it a little color for whatever doesn't match or reach, I should say. And there we go. You won't even notice it. All right. All right, let's get this laid down. We're going to get a nice layer of glue all over this if the glue cooperates. All right. Let's come to this side first. And we're going to lay that down. Make sure it's not in our fold. And there we go. Now we can come back and embellish just a little bit further. We can put maybe a label, maybe a little piece of lace. All right. So I think that's good. And that's what it's going to look like right there. We're going to glue that right there. And I think we need to glue this down, and that's going to be our last little bit. I think that matches very nicely. Yep, I think that's going to be good. All right, so working with our stubborn glue, we are going to glue this. We're not going to go all the way to the crease. We're just going to stop just short. And that's what I was talking about, it just poking up just a little, and I'm really okay with that. All right, let's glue this down. You know, sometimes I get up from my craft table and I'm covered in ink and paper. And it's just a mess. For a little while there, I was wearing a craft apron just to kind of catch everything because I just had things everywhere. Okay, and there you go. There's our inside cover. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to still go with this because now it looks a little bit busy to me. So I think I want to think about that for a little while. We're not going to glue it down right now. We're going to think about it. All right. Let's see what is the next thing on our agenda. Okay, so now we want to cover this piece of cardstock before we glue it down. And I did find this in my stack of paper. And I think this would look pretty good there. So we're going to see about that. We're going to see about cutting that down. So we're going to mark it right about here, and here, 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 here. All right, let's see about tearing that down. Yeah, I think so. And let's see, I saw a little, I think this little hummingbird would do good there. So let's get this little guy going. All right. All right, there we go. We're going to ink this little guy up. See how that would look. We can either put him here Or we can put him inside. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do that. All right. Now we want to make sure we glue them flat as we can, because we're going to have something coming in and out of this pocket here. So we're going to ink all of this up. Okay. And we're going to glue this down. All right, and we're going to place this right about there. Here we go. All right, we're going to glue our little hummingbird down. We want to get very close to the edges, because again, we want this to be very flat. You don't any parts popping up, because it'll catch and it'll end up being ripped. All right, let's try that. Oh wow, that is so pretty. I love that. I love these little mixed media birds, the hummingbirds and the other birds that SweetPeaCuriosity has. These are so pretty. Just want to get that nice and flat. And we're going to let that dry for just a second, because I don't want to put it inside the envelope. Let's see how it looks inside. Very, very nice. Let's glue that in, and we're going to glue halfway down. I guess a little more than halfway down. We don't need to go all the way down, because this is going to remain stationary and it'll be fine. All right, so we're going to slide this in. Tipping the glue up at an angle so it doesn't all get stuck before we can get it in place. All right, here we go. We got it. And we're going to adhere that down. Let's get our glue smoother. Smooth that glue. Go delicately around that hummingbird. All right. There we go. Very, very cute. I like it. I like the way it kind of goes with the color scheme. Very nice. All right. Well, I think that's all we're going to do for this video. The next thing is we'll do a couple more pages, and we'll do a little more decorating too. We need a tag for here, a tag for here. We also need to see if we're going to actually go with our original idea of putting this here. And then we'd have to decorate tags for it. So I hope you did stay and play along with me. I hope you're enjoying junk journaling with me, and I hope you'll join me for my next video. Until then, bye-bye.